Isaac Bolden, and he's at Belmont. He's a student here, and he's been helping us a lot with the musical, so we'll be talking a lot about that later. So thank you for walking me out. How's everybody? Well, do you love this beautiful theater or not? This is the first time I've got to see it inside. We're going to be working here, of course. Somebody said somebody want to take pictures. Is that true? I guess you are. All of you here. I know we do have quite a bit of press here, and we've got a lot of Belmont students here. Is that right? Well, I am so proud of Belmont. I've had a lot of my relatives and friends go to Belmont. We know this is a great school, of course, that deals with music. Everybody loves to learn about the business, end of the music business. And they've got some wonderful people here, so we're going to, a little later on, be talking about some work that we have done and are doing here with Belmont. But we're so excited to be here at this beautiful Belmont University's Fisher Center. I know they're very, very proud of this, and they should be, and I'm really proud that I'm going to get to be here. They're going to host the world premiere of my new musical, and it's the musical is going to premiere here, and it'll go to Broadway in 2026. Now, the performances here are going to start on Friday, July the 18th, for a 4-week run, and the tickets, they say, are on sale at the Nashville. Well, actually, at the dollymusical.com. I think that's what that says back there. So, I'm sure most of you already know how to get in touch with all this anyway. So anyhow, Nashville has certainly been home to me for over 60 years. It's been my musical home, and even before that, I used to come back and forth as a kid. When I was sleeping in the back seat, that was my bedroom, and my uncle had the front bedroom of our old trap car that we used to come back and forth to Nashville since I was a kid, trying to get on the Grand Ole Opry and trying to get started in the music business. So anyhow, I've lived here for 60 years. I met my husband, Carl Dean, who's from Nashville. The first day I got to Nashville, back in 1964, and after all these years, we're still together. Can you believe that? Of course, now, I played him up pretty good in the musical, too. But anyway, it just seemed natural and right for me to be able to premiere the story of my life in Tennessee. Because I'm Tennessee born and Tennessee raised. Musical, people say, well, I thought we knew everything about your life. Well, you do, because I've lived long enough. If you've been watching anything, you know all about me, you think. But actually, we will be doing lots of songs that you know from the musical, or in the musical, but I've written a whole lot of original songs. And I'm having a whole lot of fun working with Maria Slaughter, who I've written the book with, or the playbill, whatever you call it. But it's my story, of course, so I'm giving her an earful of stuff that a lot of people have not seen yet. And of course, we're lucky enough to have the wonderful Bart Shear to direct it and tell my story in the way that I think it should be. So I'm very proud of it. And I'm going to be producing it along with my manager, Danny Nozell, but with some big wigs like ATG Productions, hi Adam, and Gavin Kalin. So we've got a whole lot of good stuff that we're going to be talking about. We're going to answer some questions, do a lot of stuff. So I want to invite Bart and Marcus to come out on stage to talk about the musical. You know Marcus, don't you? Yeah, he's with the Tennessean. And this is the wonderful Bart Shear. How about a nice hand? Okay, I'm the girl. have to be invited. So anyway,
Absolutely.
I'm there. You take it.
Absolutely. So this, I'm sitting with a Tony Award winner and a country music and rock and roll Hall of Famer. This is pretty cool, right?
Are you talking about me or Bart?
I'm talking about you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what inspired you at this point in your career to pull this musical together?
Well, I ain't getting no younger. But as I tell my husband, I ain't getting no older either.
21 and a half, you know?
Yeah, I know. I've outlived so many plastic surgeons. But I actually have always wanted to do my life story as a musical, and I just thought that I wanted to see it done while I'm still around, to be able to oversee it and make sure that it's done properly in a way that I would want to see it, rather than to wait till I'm gone and let somebody else, decide how they think it should be done. So I thought that this was something I needed to do and certainly wanted to do.
Absolutely. So Bart, when you get the call from Dolly Parton to put her life on stage, walk me through that. I mean, it's got to be an immediate yes, but it's the yes and. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, it's a yes and I better not screw it up.
That's right. You better not.
No, it was, first of all, I'm a huge fan. I have been all my life. And I love the theater. And I do think the theater is a great place to tell Dolly's story. I think it's perfect to do it here at Belmont. I think it'll be amazing in New York. And it starts us on the beginning of a really beautiful journey to where we can start how to unfold this story and realize it in theater in dramatic terms with this extraordinary catalog of music and this incredible life story, and at a time when I think we need to hear Dolly's story very much.
Absolutely. So
That was good.
So speaking of music, I hear that there are new Dolly Parton songs that will be a part of Dolly the Musical. So walk me through the songwriting process at this point in your career for working on this musical.
Well, actually, I've lived my life, and my life has been country. My life is, I'm known for, being a country girl, living a country life, and I have touched so many lives with telling so many stories about people and how that goes. So it was only natural that the new music that I've written kind of has that flavor, and it kind of carries on different stories and different parts of my life, and that I wanted to think like Broadway, like how can I be Broadway? So a lot of the stuff, actually, we've got some bigger songs that are really tailor-made to what I thought how Broadway would be, but still keeping that country flavor. And the instruments, we use a lot of the country instruments, a lot of the country sound, because I wanted it to be all about this country girl.
Fiddle, steel, mandolin, right?
Yeah, so it's got, we got all kinds of the music. People are going to love it, I think, and I think they'll appreciate me taking Nashville to New York and all those country sounds. So it wasn't a big leap to write the new stuff. I just kind of followed along with what my life had been and the stories I wanted to tell, and when I had a chance to do something bigger and broader, where I thought, I'm going to get to have an orchestra, that's going to be great, if I can have strings on this and that. So it was exciting and fun for me to write the new stuff.
Absolutely. So for you, Bart, as far as when you start to get the sense of what the vision is, of what Dolly's envisioning for this musical, and you add your expertise to it, talk to me about meshing those worlds and how that felt.
It's a big question with a long answer, okay, which will be shortened here.
I mean, this chair is comfortable.
Whenever you start a big musical or a play, it's people always use the word vision, but I use the word exploration, right? So we have this incredible writer in Maria Schlatter who's been working with Dolly, and we've done 2 workshops so far where we look at the script, we sit down, we analyze it, we do it with a bunch of performers, we rewrite it, we look at it again in another workshop, we rewrite it, we go from there. Then you add the process of design to realize it in physical terms, and then we'll go through the whole process of doing it here at Belmont, which we're incredibly excited about, and then again change it and keep rewriting it until we get to New York, and then all the way through we'll be adding and changing and shaping. And you just enter into this extraordinary conversation with this music, with this incredible story, and you begin to build, with audiences helping you, an experience of this extraordinary story and kind of our own story as Americans, being a part of Dolly's life, etc. And I think the theater, particularly now, is a great place to hear this story. For people to come into a room together, just like we are now, to be sitting around together and hearing her story and sharing it together. I think it's an experience you don't get on your phone, at home, etc. We all need to be in the same room, hearing her amazing music and going through the extraordinary experience of her story.
Absolutely. So, Dolly, you've been writing a lot as of late. We spoke about your Christmas book, and you have a book coming that accompanies this musical. So talk to me just about the writing process when it comes to getting your thoughts out on the page and working with Maria to pull this together.
Well, I love Maria to death. Actually, I've noticed since she was young, her dad, George Slaughter, used to produce a lot of the shows that I used to do back in Hollywood in my younger days. So Maria and I got a chance to work together on a musical that I did for TV with Sam Haskell, my producer, with Warner Brothers a few years back, Christmas on the Square. And I loved working with her on that. Sam had brought her on. And so we just worked so great. And at that moment, I've been trying to work on my life story for years. And I have been for about 20 years trying to get this done. And so when I was working with Maria, I thought, it just clicked. I thought, she's the one I need to help me write my life story, because we work so well together. And just, you know, it's when you work with someone that talented, and that's her world, and I'm more writing songs and stories like that. So it really meshed together well, and I just got a chance to prove myself as a writer. Well, I think me and you both need a napkin. We're both suffering from colds, ain't we?
Oh, no, it's going around.
Okay.
So,
we can sell this on eBay. I don't know what his will bring, but
I'm going to ask a question that everybody in this building wants to know. Somebody has to play you. And there was a nationwide search for Dolly. I want to ask about that process and what it means to you and what it was to experience that.
well, I tell you what, we're going to really have a whole lot of people come. We're going to be auditioning people, and we still are all the way through. But you would not believe some of the stuff we got. We got some absolutely great people. We had drag queens. We had all kinds of people playing Dolly, like that they were going to get it. You get to do that at the nightclubs across the street with us. But I don't even know if some of them were that serious about it, but getting serious, we really hope to find just the right people, and we'll be announcing pretty soon who we are going to have to do that. But we appreciate all the people that have applied for the job, because it's a hard job. I don't believe I'd want to live it again.
That's a whole other thing.
Well, I think I've never done a big nationwide casting before. But in a way, it makes a lot of sense to me, because Dolly's story is everybody's story. And it wouldn't have been fair if we hadn't made this the possibility for everybody to have a chance. So it's a lot to go through. There's a lot of tapes. There's a lot of stuff like that. Casting is one of the most important jobs a director can do. We go through incredible details. I was talking to Dolly about this earlier. I can spend months and months and months getting it exactly right. How do you cast Lee Parton, her father, or how do you cast Porter Wagner, or how do you cast anybody, Carl, her husband? These are very important choices to make, and you have to find exactly the right people. And I think opening up that process is only right. It only reflects how Dolly sees the world, that we're all a part of this, and it's been really fun.
Right, so I want to ask about Belmont as well. This is a world-class venue. And I wanted to ask you about working in a world-class venue in Nashville. It's one of the questions I'm most looking forward to answering. My home theater is Lincoln Center Theater in New York City, which is it's a nice place to work.
And I also have the incredible advantage, because I've been very lucky in my career. I've worked at La Scala in Milan, I've worked in Salzburg, I've worked at the Sydney Opera House, I've worked at theaters all across the United States. And when I came here to the Fisher Center, I thought you guys had built one of the best theaters in the world.
I know, I took great pride.
Themes and values that people can take away from the musical. I think that's going to be one of the greater arcs of stories about this, is that there are values and themes that will be a part of this that people can take and, you know, make it a part of their lives. So I want to start with you and then go to you about that.
What do we want them to take away
Yeah,
from?
yeah, the values.
Well, we want them to, what is that old saying somebody said, to do a great show, you know you've done a great show, make them laugh, make them cry, scare the hell out of them and go home. I say that scary part. We even had an earthquake in this. If it's still in there, at one time we tried to have it where we had an earthquake that might scare them a little. Like a fake, you know, it might scare them too much.
Right.
But actually, I just want people to go away feeling like they've been entertained, of course, but I personally want them to see the person inside of me, the life, the things you go through, the things you truly do have to sacrifice. Everybody thinks it's all glamorous and glory and money and fame, but there's so much more to a life like mine when you started, when you were tiny, and the prices that you have to pay, the miles that you have to travel, and the sacrifices, like I say, that you make. I just want people to go away feeling at the end, because it's a triumphant story, and I want them to go away feeling like, whoa, I'm glad I went to that. I feel like I just went to church.
It's actually a story of her life. And look, she's one of the greatest artists of the last 100 years. She's just an amazing artist. We have to dramatize, how do you get there? And having spent a lot of time working on the show, in a way, it's both a personal journey and it's a spiritual journey, and you need to dramatize how these events take place. And the big fun of it has been how you can come in and learn and see how how a person comes to be, how you get a writer like this, how a person expresses themselves, why they're compelled through personal stories to go through and make a piece of writing. And I think if we do our job, and if it's good, you will experience more and things about Dolly you didn't know, and at the same time, how to be, what it takes to become a great artist, what it takes to become a great person in the world. And we tell stories in order to learn more about ourselves, and I think by going through her life, you learn a little bit more about your own, and about how special and how possible it is for things to be even better. So.
Actually, the favorite song of mine is kind of like the theme song. It's a new song.
Okay.
And it's called I Wouldn't Be Here If You Hadn't Been There. And it kind of talks about all the people that have been in my life, but it also references to God as well. You know, like all the things that it takes to make, you know, it's like I wouldn't be here if you hadn't been there. And so that we kind of end the show basically with that. It's a theme that runs through, and so I'm real proud of that. And I'll be putting that out as a single record of my own in the not so distant future to kind of start advertising the show. But it's a song I'm real proud of and felt very inspired to write. And of course, I love hearing all these wonderful artists. The fact that I'm not on stage is so strange, because working with all these people, you know, we've been working, you know, with some of the actors that have been filling in till we find all the right people. But just thinking, I'm not even up there. And that's me singing their song. It's just kind of funny. I think, well, I need to be up there doing that, but Lord knows I couldn't handle all that many shows in a week, for sure. But anyway, I enjoy all the songs, hearing all the people sing songs you know of mine, and then just hearing these other people sing new songs I've written. It's exciting for a writer.
Right. So,
We'll be back.
Dolly, we wouldn't be here if you hadn't been there and also here. What a joy to be with a living legend. Thank you for your, Dolly, for your cross-genre musical legacy, for your philanthropy, for your creativity, perhaps most of all for your character. Your character reflects the hallmarks of the type of education that Belmont provides. This university is known for innovation and an entrepreneurial mindset, for creativity, particularly in the arts and entertainment, as well as across all the disciplines, for forming strong men and women of great character, individuals prepared to lead in their fields and their communities. We're bringing those elements together with one of the world's greatest exemplars of character, innovation, and creativity. Someone who also demonstrates Belmont's mission of seeking to make the world a better place. We couldn't be more honored for this partnership. In addition to the world...
Thank you, Greg, and thank you, Dolly and Danny. This is truly an honor for us, and I must say it's a great day at the Fisher Center and a great day at
Political science minor at Belmont University.
It all started when I was staying in town as a summer RA through Belmont.
And I got a text from one of my professors who very much so usually emails me. So I was like, this must be urgent.
And I got an email about a potential opportunity to work with Dolly Parton and her team on a new project.
I check and she's like, hi, are you free? And can you be in Nashville to work on a Dolly Parton production?
The first part of it was just like, is this real?
Like, what?
To be a part of it was like better than I ever could have imagined.
Everyone. It was just truly wonderful to work with. And I just really greatly enjoyed that, and it made me for sure want to continue working in production.
To see how I could fit into this world that I've just only been dreaming of working in so far was a dream come true.
This production has definitely made me feel just like more confident in my own skin and comfortable, and made me feel like I can go out post-grad and do good work.
And I can't wait to see what it does for my fellow students.
Thank you, Katie, Beth, Isaac.
Here we come! Dolly and Mark! That sounds good to me. I told him, I said, you're going to be my date, hopefully for several years now, if we do well. Anyway, I think they said we had some questions that the audience wanted to ask. Hello there.
Hi, Dolly.
Hi.
I think we would all agree that there's only one Dolly.
Who wants another one?
Well, that's my
I've seen
question.
1,000 out there already. That's not true, there's only one.
In telling your life story, how many Dollies will it take to play you?
Actually, how many dollars did we wind up having?
I think it was 87.
No, in the show.
No, in the show.
It feels like it.
no,
We got the little dollar.
No, we have 3 Dollies. There's a little Dolly, sort of middle Dolly, and older Dolly. The story's narrated largely by older Dolly. So it's just because of the nature of the songs builds better with more than one. And as we're casting, across the world, that I think it's more helpful that way.
Well, many lives. Look at the age I am now. So I started young, so we couldn't very well just have like one Dolly. Who could? And there's so many songs, we need to kind of divide it up. But anyhow, so there's your answer. There's 3 of me.
Wonderful.
I wish I had 3 of me a lot of times the way I work.
And of course, you being such a fashion icon, I wonder if you could talk a little bit about the process of creating Broadway versions of your iconic wardrobe.
Well, actually, there was a lot of discussion about that because I've worn so many things throughout my career, from the early days and then, of course, to the later years where I love all the rhinestones and sparkles. So they've hired a wonderful costume designer, and they've actually brought on board Steve Summers, the guy that really works with me a lot on my clothes and has for several years, to get his input and try to help them dress the dollies, certainly the ones that are the show dollies. So we're excited about that. Do you want to add a little on
well,
that?
I think the really, really exciting part about that is especially to see dollies at the evolution of the clothes over time. So to see it in the early days, in the 60s and the 70s, those styles are really extraordinary and really special, and to see those across the show. And Jen is a very, very close friend. I worked with her on 1 million shows, but Steve is an incredible designer and artist, and I just wanted to make sure we have all of the history and knowledge of this together, and they're working amazingly well together. They come to New York and we hang out, and it's super fun.
Who don't have fun in New York?
Dolly, so you are so involved in every aspect of your career. How hands-on are you with this? And are there any surprises that you didn't expect by working on a Broadway musical?
Well, I'm never surprised at anything, really. I've been around so long. But I am surprised at how hard these people work, how involved the process really is. It's like I see Bart and all the ones that are really putting this together that work on Broadway. It's just amazing. It's so different than country music or the world that I live in. I did get an opportunity several years back to write the music for 9 to 5, but I only did that as a writer. Thank you. But I wasn't that involved. I didn't see at that time what I really went into putting a show like this together. So all I had to do was just work with the people on the music, rewrite a song here and there. But I have been floored having to be hands-on and be involved since it is my life story. I have to be involved in it, and I wrote the songs, and so it's important. But I mean, I really have to depend on Bart, and I do trust him because he's the greatest, as you know. And I think, well, I don't have an opinion about that because I ain't smart enough to know. So what do I need to do about that? And I trust his opinion.
I do think that
when portraying the queen that you are, Dolly, aside from your music talent and your beauty, obviously, what would you say is the most important characteristic to represent?
Well, I think it's important to represent yourself as a good human being, and I've tried to do that through the years, but to have fun doing it. And I think that that's one of the things that I love about the show. I've tried to show my personality, but to show my depth and my fun, and to show my spirituality, all the things that have built me and made me who I am, and to be proud of all that. So having respect and being known as a decent human being means more to me than most things. How come everybody only got to be on that side of the building? Do you feel left out over there? I bet you do. You should. I think they only had one microphone, though. Okay.
I just wanted to go back to the open casting process and the fact that you may be giving somebody unknown, a brand new hopeful, an opportunity to launch their career through this process, and just what that means to you to not necessarily go to the standard stars or the known Broadway people and potentially introducing the world to somebody brand new in your show.
Well, we don't even know who is actually going to wind up being in the show. We may wind up having some known people in the show, known artists. But what's been great for me and important to me, that we have given people a chance to be involved in it, because I've been out there in the world on TV, singing on radio, and where the most people like you know me from Nashville, and like I say, this is a different world to me. And I thought, well, I want to be able to see who all can do this. And if there's someone out there that can play me that's never been on Broadway, that'd be wonderful. And if we wind up with somebody from Broadway that can still do me good, well, that's good too. So I just wanted to give everybody an equal chance to see if they could do it. So we've been proud to be part of that whole process. As I always say, I told you to wait in the truck. Oh, they never listen.
no.
Wish me well, and I wish you well, and I love y'all. Thank you. Thank you.